Only one more week until football is in full motion for the next 5 months, the best time of the year. Week 1 of college football has now come and gone. We will break down everything that has happened this past Saturday, along with getting you ready for next week, starting with the Bills versus the Rams. We'll go into each of our picks for the upcoming games for next week for the NFL, and as always, we'll taste some beers for you at the end of the show. But before we get to all that, Pub Talk is brought to you by Route 11 Chips. We want to thank Route 11 Chips, the best chips here in the Shenandoah Valley with great flavors such as barbecue, Chesapeake crab, and salt and pepper. 25 plus years of being in the business has led to some damn fine chips. So make sure you check out your local stores to grab your chip bag today. All right, let's get started. Hear the music. I know you heard it. I know Coach didn't hear it at the snip end of the fade out for the music.
Yeah.
But the music is back. Maybe only for this episode. I may be teasing you all. But anyway, one more week until football is in full motion.
Yep.
You will have football every single Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night from now until February. The first weekend in February is when it is all gone. That's the saddest day of the year.
Yeah.
It just is. I mean, you want to watch the best players out there for the NFL, but then guess what? You realize that it's all over after that. But anyway, week 1 of college football has now come and gone. And to be honest with you, I was very intrigued by yesterday in terms of the fact that not many top-tier games on, I will say.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of slated matchups, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't know that you have a full 100%. You know, and that's one of the things I think I have the biggest problem with is I don't know why you don't have an important game early in the season. Don't give me this shit.
Start off your season with a bang, essentially.
Right, yeah, just... you know, if you want to be in the national championship, build a schedule of freaking heavy hitters. Shit, you will have freaking battle tested your team.
Hey. Just because Alabama doesn't play Utah State, okay, doesn't mean that they're not going to the national championship. Sorry.
Yeah.
And
that's who they did play.
And then,
Utah State.
that's what I'm saying is like, hey, they played Utah State. They're going to the national championship, though, right?
I mean, that's, you know, Bethune-Cookman and Southern Georgia and... You know, who knows, Northeast Louisiana Tech versus freaking Clemson or whatever it is.
We're going to be at the Waterboy School.
Yeah.
Southeast Louisiana State.
And now, granted, I see the money that's coming in to, these schools that are playing these premier teams, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it just, I don't have a problem with that. I know they're making a few bucks and. You know, it helps drive some of these lower tier teams. But at the same time, if we're talking about viewership, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see an FBS top 25 team or top 10 team play somebody from the FCS or an FBS team that's low tier. Nobody wants to see that. They just don't. But I understand all of the money and you got to help these teams out and you got to help their athletic programs. Look, not everybody has a budget like Nick Saban's program does, you know?
I think we have to start off, though, with Friday because even though it may be Saturday as the day for college football, Friday night did have its big upsets. Look. Here in the state of Virginia, the biggest football school in this state is Virginia Tech. And they played against Old Dominion University here in the state of Virginia as well, and they lost. Brent Pry, the former defensive coordinator from Penn State, goes down to Virginia Tech and takes the head coaching job. And guess what? They lose their first game. Now, I know coaches – like, look, I think you can have this talk with just about anyone in the sense that, like, look, it's not his team. I get that. But, you know, when I went to school, at James Madison. I remember when our team won the national championship in 2016. That season was Mike Houston's first year as his head coach. And the previous two coaches had Mickey Matthews had left in 2013. He was let go. So that senior class, now with Mike Houston, had lost that coach, and then they had lost Everett Withers, who then came in a year later in 2014. And then he left after the 2015 season to go to Texas State, and then Mike Houston came in. So that senior class had been through 3 head coaches, man.
Yeah.
They had been through so many head coaches. And at that point, I have no reason to believe, but it's just like, fuck this, man. Like, what's wrong with head coaches? Because Coach and I talk about this all the time. Guess what? They want the next biggest thing. Now, one of them was let go. Like, he was let go because, he had been there for a while and he just wasn't up to the success of what JMU wanted. And then Withers, he had success in his 2 years, but then chose an FBS school after that. And then now Houston comes in, but the seniors are like, whatever, man. Like, I guess I'll play for you now. But it's weird because none of those guys were his, because he came in January. I mean, he came in right after the season was over. And guess what? He led all those guys to a national championship. Like, I look at that and I go, okay, it may not be your guys, your team, but you still got to be able to be important to those guys.
You know as well as I do, CJ, you're not winning a national championship. You're not winning a championship of any kind without dudes. You're just not. So when Matthews left and what's his name?
Withers. Withers came in and then Houston
and
came
then Houston. Those guys still recruited dudes. You know what I mean? And those dudes stayed there. And Houston made it work to well enough to win the national championship.
Yeah, but Brent Pry, Brent Pry has come into, I'll say it, Coach, the biggest football program in the state of Virginia.
Yeah, but it's not like I get that, but it's not like they're this nationally ranked team. I mean, this is a team that has struggled over the last few years. They just have. And Virginia Tech has slid down the power pole, so to speak, in terms of what they're capable of. You look at what they did as a team, and it wasn't. I'd say it wasn't horrendous. I mean,
it was a 20-17.
It was
loss.
a 20-17.
It was a very close game, but ODU, by all counts, has not the best recruiting
compared to
what Virginia Tech
compared
does.
to Tech, yeah.
Facilities, total caliber of players, they don't. They just don't have that, and they were just able to beat them.
Well, the biggest thing that you can't do, and I don't care what level you're playing, is your quarterback can't throw 4 interceptions, and that's what Grant Wells did. He threw the ball to the other team 4 freaking times. I'm sorry, but you can't win doing that. You know as well as I do, you cannot win effectively that way. They rushed for just under 200 yards. 200 yards rushing. That's not like, some horrible stat, 150 yards rushing. 39 carries for 147, 150 yards. 3.8 yards per carry. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. And then when you match it up against their freaking quarterback throwing 4 interceptions, then you wonder why you lose 20-17. You have opportunities and you piss those opportunities away, and that's what happens.
The more that I'm getting at, though, is that this is a head coach that should, of the caliber of who he is and how you, in your conversations with him, should be a guy who is able to turn around a program that
not overnight
not overnight. Has been bad the past couple of years.
Exactly, and so you got to you have to and I met Coach Fuente 2 times, and I just happened to be around him, and I happened to be around Coach Pry several times, and they're completely 2 different guys. And I think over the course of time, they will be better defensively, they will be better player-wise, they will be better as men under Brent Pry.
Oh, I look back at Penn State.
I don't have any reservations at all over that. None.
I look at you look at the caliber of players that he has coached as well, like guys like Marcus Allen, who play in the NFL right now. He's a Pittsburgh Steeler. You look at guys like Grant Haley, who made plays for his defense back then. You also look at, what was his name? Micah Parsons. He was able to recruit a guy
He's
like
okay.
Micah He was able to recruit a guy like Micah Parsons away from
Harrisburg Cougars.
from every top team in the country and say no.
It's a
you
PA
want to
boy.
come
He's
here
a
and play for
Pennsylvania boy.
myself.
Yeah.
I look at that and I go, okay, well, here in Virginia, I have the best program.
This is Virginia. We played AAA ball.
I just think though that like Tech still, you haven't done shit
Right.
in the past however many years,
Right.
And you should be able to with the caliber of program that you have.
Yes, you would think that way. But you know as well as I do, and I keep saying that freaking old cliche statement, you know as well as I do, that football, except for your upper tiered teams, is so cyclical, it's not even funny. That there are teams that go through good seasons and bad seasons, and good seasons and bad seasons, and you just have to give Coach Pry time. I mean, just think about the amount of time he's been there. You know what I mean? It's not like he's been there for freaking 2 years.
I get that.
So it's really hard to recruit, and then train and get through your spring and summer without injuries. Trying to freaking teach a new program, everything new from the ground up, and I don't know.
Okay, well, in that same state, you have a team that has now risen up from the FCS level. In James Madison, they had
Who are they?
They had their first FBS game yesterday. Sure, they played Middle Tennessee, but at the same time, Conference USA. Sure, they were not good, but the Dukes put 44 on them. Their quarterback threw 6 touchdown passes, and their defense held Middle Tennessee to 119 yards of total offense.
Yeah, I would say that JMU got the job done, didn't they?
I think that they were fucking waiting for this, man.
Well,
Well, because guess what? You get better recruits now. Coach Cignetti, I have full faith in that man because he's a protege of Nick Saban. He was on Nick Saban's 2009 National Championships coaching staff. He was the wide receivers coach. He coached guys like Julio Jones. Okay, this motherfucker.
Cignetti?
Yeah.
Oh.
He coached some of the best players that are in the NFL right now. Okay. This motherfucker knows what it takes to be a smart coach because he's one of Nick Saban's former coaches. He still talks to Nick Saban to this day. And now that he has his guys and even better guys, guess what? Cole Johnson's gone now. The guy who played for 7 fucking years there at JMU as a quarterback is now he's gone now. So, and guess who this new guy is? Todd Centrio, their new quarterback. First game he's on the field, throws 6 fucking touchdown passes in their inaugural FBS game. Inaugural.
Come on now.
Inaugural FBS game. I say that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I would say so. I got to take, as much as, how much I like them and what they did. I hate their offense at times, but I like the whole mentality that JMU takes on. I just like the way they approach things.
The thing that I love about it is that you have an opportunity now to grow that place.
They rushed for 261 yards on the ground.
Yep. And they're a run-first offense.
They had
They always
540
have been.
total yards of offense. 540 fucking
Now,
yards.
I will say, I think I'll play devil's advocate and say, like, look, Middle Tennessee is not that good. But at the same time, I go, okay, but James Madison did everything right then in putting the hammer on them.
Yeah.
They absolutely did then. No prisoners taken then. Because 7 points, that's a garbage score if you ask me. That doesn't matter. Sure, your defensive coordinator is going to be like, look, guys, I mean, I know it's like, okay, we won the game, but, like, we still made a couple of mistakes. We gave them a score when we shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But other than that, I go, okay, Virginia Tech having some struggles while their first FBS game, JMU's putting the hurting on their FBS opponent. Now, the only thing to that is that they are going to go play Norfolk State next week, and they're an FCS school, so there's not much. So if you look at that, I go, okay, that's not going to be good. But after that, they go down to Boone, North Carolina, and they play App State, who is another team we're going to get into who played UNC yesterday. And oh my goodness, a 63-61 loss against the Tar Heels. Imagine putting up 61 points and you lost. You just fucking lost, man. I guarantee you the offensive coordinator walked in with boxing gloves on and just brought a second pair in and handed them to the defensive coordinator and said, put them on right now. I'm beating the shit out of you right now.
He went into his office and started packing his shit so he could leave.
I can't believe that, man. You put up 61 points and you lose. I am a huge defensive fan. I will be the first to criticize offenses when they do not fucking produce and your defense is on the field.
Yeah.
But I will also be the first to criticize if you can't stop shit. If you can't even come up with one defensive formation, anything out of that entire sheet that you have there that is able to stop a team that's just not fucking good in UNC, what the hell, man? How the hell does this happen? And on top of that, did you see the clip of their special teams? They ran an onside kick, App State did, to recover it. All four guys who ran up when the camera panned to it, the four UNC guys, just took them all out. They just got flatlined. Every single special teams player there just got flatlined. Let me see if I can find it, Coach. Let me see if I can find it. But it was. I can tell you this much. It's pretty sad. Is this gonna be it?
Should have used YouTube. Maybe YouTube.
No, it's like an actual video. Here's PFT. So here's the onside kick.
Okay.
Here's the onside kick. There we go. They're all dead. They're all just dead. And then he's gone. And then he's fucking gone. How does that happen? How does that happen? Every single gunner there just got destroyed.
Snipers.
Oh my God, that's absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
They actually lost that game when they put up 61 points.
They scored 40 in the fourth quarter, dude. 40 points in the fourth quarter.
That's absolutely insane. Oh my goodness. Anyway, but I had to just talk about that game in the sense that, like, I will be.
Well, I'll say this. You know, that game was only 20. It was 28-21 at the half. So it was a good game.
And then it ended up being 124 points were scored.
Yeah, I mean, even so, North Carolina scores 35 points, and freaking App State scores 40 in the second half. You know, 75 points combined for the two teams in the second half. That's crazy if you ask me.
Now, moving on to the game that we see on our screen
yeah,
right here.
yeah.
I mean, this was supposed to be the best game of the day. I'll say, like, top two games. Top two games.
Okay,
other than
it's
Notre
gonna
Dame,
be
Ohio
close.
State. But in terms of top tier games, this is what one is supposed to be. You have, they're in Atlanta. They're in the Chick-fil-A Bowl Stadium where the Falcons play. You have Oregon and Georgia. And we thought that this would at least be like, some sort of high-scoring game because Bo Nix is now in Oregon. Right. Guess what? The Dogs did not give a fuck. They did not give a fuck. It was 49-3. The game was terrible.
It was a complete domination by them.
It was like, if you had any fucking doubt if, Stetson Bennett and this Dogs team is going to be any different, well, they just came out and beat the number 11 team without breaking a sweat.
And it's hard to say whether that number 11 team should have been even ranked.
I get that, Coach.
Number 11.
But if you have a nationally televised game like that,
you better be ready, fully prepared to play, or you're going to get your freaking ass handed to you, just like that. But you know what? Part of me says, hey, Georgia did what they were supposed to do. They went out there and they made a statement. They scored 49 points. Stetson Bennett throws for just under 400 yards or close to 400 yards. His if I remember correctly, let me look it up. His passer rating was 201. Like,
The perfect for people who don't know, the perfect passer rating is 158.3. This dude was 42 points above
his
the
rating,
fucking
his passer
perfect
rating, he was 25 of 31, 368 yards, 80.6% completion percentage, an average of just under 12 yards. He threw 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks, nothing. 201.7 was his rating.
Yeah, the minimum QBR rating I think is like you have to throw 25 passes.
Yeah.
I think that's the minimum that you get because there are some quarterbacks sometimes that could, complete every single pass but go 9 for 10 or 10 for 10. It's like, okay, but that still doesn't equal. You have to have like a minimum of 25, I believe it is. But anyway, yeah, this dude was 42 points above.
No, that's QBR. That's not the same as this. His rating was
his passer rating. The passer rating has like a limit.
Yeah.
It's like a minimum limit that you must have. But anyway, yeah, the Dogs, like, they just made this look so fucking easy. It's not even close on what happened. And they look very much still intact from last year. Sure, they did lose some key defensive players.
You know what I mean? A few. They lost a shit ton.
But offensively, they still look as dominant as they were. Not even close. Because offensively, they didn't lose much. They did not lose their firepower.
I mean, they still have a lot of talent. I mean, it's just like Alabama, They just freaking...
But this is the thing, is that their 2 tight end set, though. If
Yeah.
you look at this, they have their true freshman from last year coming back, and then their other 6'5" junior tight end coming back. So their 2 tight end set is still the best in the country.
Yeah.
And that alone already is like, fuck, man. Like, what?
All right, the minimum number of pass per attempts is 14.
Okay.
And then the highest rating ever is 286.
In college?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then it's different for NFL.
Right.
Because in NFL, it's 158.3. That's what the passer rating is in the NFL. But that's also probably because the NFL does it differently in terms of putting out statistics.
I mean, if you're freaking over 190, you have an exceptional freaking. You had an exceptional day. I mean, you look at Mac Jones in 2020. He went at 203, so he was just above that. I'm looking at some of the guys that were on here that we would even know. Joe Burrow was 202 in 2019. So Stetson Bennett is number 13 all time in terms of passer rating, which is pretty good. Yeah, Baker Mayfield was up there. He's number 16. Kyler Murray is 15. Tua's 14. So to have this kid out there doing what he's doing, Stetson Bennett, he's in pretty good company when it comes to his efficiency and shit. Now, I look at it like this. The more you perform and you do what you're supposed to do, that's going to have coaches from the NFL, that's going to have scouts coming and knocking on your door. So,
All right,
and this is
so-
for a guy who was a fucking walk-on.
So just
Yeah.
a couple more things.
Yeah.
I'm just putting this up here for...
Let's talk about Notre Dame, Ohio State.
Yeah.
I watched that game yesterday.
New coach Brian Kelly is no longer there.
Yeah.
So Notre Dame has their defensive coordinator is now their head coach now.
I loved the first half. It was so other than I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Shoot. The guy the receiver who got hurt. It was a tackle. It was not intentional, and it sidelined him. I don't know how you say it. Najiba.
Oh yeah,
He
he went down
Yeah.
for Ohio State. Yes.
Yeah, and then later on you saw him. He was out on the sideline, street clothes and stuff like that, which just wasn't good. But Ohio State kind of like spitted and sputtered. I think Notre Dame was playing spirited football, but when it came down to it, when it was nut cutting time, Ohio State just got it done. They just got it done, and I don't know, Notre Dame was playing with a brand new quarterback, not.
Yep. Ian Book is no longer there.
Yeah. So, you got a brand new quarterback. You got a brand new coach. There's a whole lot of wondering what's going on. I think Notre Dame's going to be very good this year. they won't be playing in the college football playoff. I don't foresee them unless they had some spectacular time, a spectacular season between now and then. I don't see that happening.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, though, is that what were we going to expect from C.J. Stroud? Because last year he did have some struggling points, but Ryan, their coach Ryan, Ohio State, you have to look at him and go, look, he's led that program to, big heights. Continuing on from, the predecessor in, Urban Meyer. He's continued to lead that program.
Ryan
to
Day,
new
yeah,
heights.
I think he did a great job. You could tell in his voice in the post-game interview that he was proud that his kids had played.
Fuck the scoreline. Who cares? You won the game.
They just got it done. They found a way to
exactly.
overcome the adversity.
Everyone wants style points, man.
Yeah, let's just get it
hate
done and move on to next week. Let's find a way to win. C.J. Stroud has a pretty solid day. He throws for 200-plus yards and a couple of touchdowns. He struggled a little bit early, but the two running backs that they had yesterday, Jesus, they're going to be a handful. I mean,
That's always been the case with Ohio State, though. They have always been a big run team that has been able to produce big-name running backs. They just have.
yeah, I watch those guys play, and it's ridiculous how they get things done from the running back position. Like
Penn
you said,
State should take some notes,
Yeah.
right? Penn State should take some notes because, they steal their recruits, and they're 10 times better
but
than
it's
Penn
just
State.
it's different offense. It's a different style of offense.
But you think
and
about it, though,
I
and,
just-
you just try to
How
take
do you
some notes from
I
them.
know that exactly. How do you not copy what Ohio State's doing and say, "Look, we get pretty good fucking recruits too. What the hell are we doing this? Why are we
Base
doing it
inside
this way?"
run bullshit that we do every single year and gets us nowhere. By the way, they played the Boilermakers on Thursday night of Purdue, and guess what? Yeah, they won 35-31. Clifford had to make a last-minute drive.
But that's
Fucking win the
important to
game.
do. Those are important things to do.
I get that. But as you have said, used car salesman.
Yeah.
You have a game that, on paper, you have way better recruits than Purdue. However, Purdue is one of those sneaky teams. They are. They're that sneaky team like Iowa sometimes where if a ranked team or a very highly touted team comes into Purdue, it's hard to beat Purdue when they got the fans behind them. It's very weird. Last year it happened. Ohio State came into Purdue, did not go well for Ohio State. Same thing with Michigan. It's just weird. It just is a weird place to try and get it done. But Penn State did. But I will say, though, it's not impressive nonetheless. It's just not. And then if we move on to okay, here's the top 10 now. Real quick, though, I just want to say that a picture came out of UCLA, their football team.
Yeah, you showed
so
me
they
that.
play in the Rose Bowl, actually. That's their home stadium.
Pasadena, yeah.
In Los Angeles. And
Pasadena.
this is the Rose Bowl. You can't see it, but you could look it up. Look up the football stadium yesterday, attendance-wise for UCLA. This is a team that has a Jordan brand partnership, okay? This is a team that has the richest Nike contract in the entire country at $46.75 million. They look like they have 15,000 fans here.
Not even that many.
Not even that many. In the fucking Rose Bowl. Not even 15,000. Maybe 10,000. Let's go with 10,000 fans.
I'm going to look it up. It just said it was the lowest Rose Bowl attendance
No.
for a first game since announcing their move to the Big Ten. It's the smallest attendance in 30 years.
That's absolutely fucking insane. And I guarantee you the attendance on what was just done by tickets purchased, it actually wasn't with, people who attended the game. I guarantee you they inflated those numbers a little bit. What does it say? 20-something?
Yeah, but
There's no fucking way.
There's no way.
There's no fucking way. They're out at the coin toss. They're about to get this game started, and this is when it's supposed to be really packed.
All right, so it says The previous low point for the Bruins at the Rose Bowl came on November 7th, 1992, when 32,000 fans were in attendance for the 26-14 win over Oregon in a game followed by a 5-game losing streak. However, the listed attendance on yesterday, was roughly 5,000 fans lower than the previous mark.
There's no
And
way.
it says attendance is typically calculated by tickets purchased, meaning that there were likely many fewer fans actually in the
Oh
building.
yeah. So you're saying this is 27,000? There's no fucking
There's
way.
no way.
There's no way that's 27,000.
I'll be honest with you, CJ. That might be 10,000.
But that's what I'm thinking. That's awful. That's just terrible.
I'm just looking at it. That might be
Because
10,000
they
people.
made their decision on moving to the Big Ten. Remember, and that's the same thing with USC.
Yeah, they did say that the temperature was 100 degrees. It's 30 miles away from UCLA's campus in
It is.
in,
I will say
in
that.
Westwood.
Because this is in Pasadena.
And they were playing Bowling Green, who went 4-8 last year. You're
Okay.
right. So this picture from Twitter is very similar.
It's the same
It's a-
picture. It's got to be.
It's just slightly different angle, but it's a slightly different angle. But because there are players on the field, and there's a few more, because see, you don't even see the UCLA ribbons that are up.
Either
So-
way.
so
This is just like.
There's a whole blue section. If you go, if you do a search for,
I think I saw the picture that you're talking about, but either
Yeah.
way, like I just look at this and I go, it's opening day, and this is the crowd that you.
that doesn't look like the picture that I'm seeing. It just doesn't look the same at all. No. Because the whole one end zone says UCLA. Do that search that I just did, and you can see it. Do the search I just did for UCLA attendance. UCLA attendance at game, and then you look at the first one. Go all. There. And then hit the, it says Rose Bowl attendance hits all-time low. And then if you go down, there's a Twitter pic. Right there, you just passed it. Go up. I think that's it. And you see the angle, because the whole end zone shows, see at UCLA? But look.
Oh my God! That's not even 10,000.
Yeah.
That's not even 10,000.
See what I mean? You see how the end zone, and then that other picture doesn't even capture those things in the end zone.
Oh my God! This is a joke. Oh, that's an absolute joke.
Yeah, so it
It
says,
says new record low 27,000. That's got to.
There's no way.
So it's like 7,000 people were there.
It's
essentially.
it says 20,000 season ticket holders who didn't show up. They sold 27,000 tickets and 20,000 didn't show up. How bad is
Anyway.
that?
Anyway, let's go over the top.
You know,
10 now.
and guess who's that? Guess who the coach of that? That's Chip Kelly of once famed
like
Oregon.
I said,
And
you have the richest Nike contract in the entire fucking country. Your football program
here it is.
at the
It
helm
says
of that.
new record low attendance at the Rose Bowl, 27,143. But
That's not 27,000.
There's no way.
That's
No
not
way
27,000.
is that 27,000 people.
All right, so here's what you got. For
But you know,
the top
they
10.
hey, but at the same time, they walked away with a dub. You know,
Against
they got it
Bowling
done.
Green.
They beat a Bowling Green team. They beat a Bowling Green team that they were supposed to beat. You know, and hey, I'll tell you what. If I'm Chip Kelly, I'll take my little mild victories. So,
you bite, or he bite, but
Yeah.
I bite not.
all right, let's take a look at that tonight. What do you think, Brian Kelly, the other Kelly? He leaves the University of Notre Dame after many, many years being successful there, and he's a great coach. There's no two ways about it. He's a really, really good coach. But he leaves it and he heads to LSU. What do you think they look like tonight? Get down, sis. You crazy?
I don't think that they look good, Coach.
You don't think so?
I don't trust Brian Kelly
Why?
because at Notre Dame he's a shitty ass coach.
Why do you say that?
there's been plenty of proof that like there's been times where he's just said shit that it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
All right, well.
I just
Apparently,
look-
somebody in LSU thought he was worth a lot of money.
Oh,
and
I'm
they
well aware, but
invested
that's
a-
also the same. You know, I won't speak ill on Coach O, but I was like, at what point does Coach O, other than know how to coaching a defensive line, know how to lead a football team other than getting them hyped? Because if you look at that 2019 team, I go, that team was fucking special. But then the year after, it was just complete. It just fell apart. It just complete descent.
Alabama 2 years ago had an elite team that won the national championship with Mac Jones. The very next year, oh, that's right, they went right back. With a lesser tier team, they went right back. Oh, the third year later, this year, 2022, they're ranked number 1.
Yeah.
And we'll just basically...
And that's never been the case for LSU, though. They've had that one...
But
one
you
year
can't
here and
tell
there.
me that a school like LSU doesn't recruit dudes. Dudes. What's their ranking? Is LSU even ranked after last season's debacle?
No, they are not.
They have no ranking, do they?
They are not ranked.
All right. Well, this could be this is an interesting.
Shut up!
This is an interesting concept. Then, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't trust him, and especially, well, I mean, the thing is once again, is he going to be able to turn this program back around again? And I just don't think he will. I truly don't. I don't think he's a good coach.
I just.
In the biggest games, he always failed. He always did fail in those big games.
His teams failed. He's not playing. Always remember that. He's not playing. He didn't get his players, either didn't get his players ready to play, or his players were ready for a bigger moment. The coach doesn't play those games.
Sure.
That's unfair to say that.
But that's
he
also, as a coach,
he has
that
to wear
if
those.
you lose, you put it on yourself. You put it on the coaching staff. If you win, it's because of the players.
Yeah.
You know that's
Yeah,
the
I know
case.
it's something else, but I just don't like when people attribute the
That's
overall
fine.
success of teams directly at the feet of their coach, because it doesn't. That doesn't even tell you how hard the guy worked. It doesn't tell you about the internal problems. It doesn't tell you about the recruiting process that has just got to go on day and night, day and night. I don't know.
But the other thing
I may be
also
crazy.
is I just don't like the whole thing about coaches just up and leaving without a hint of like, I'm glad I got you here, but it's like I'm leaving, bye, gone.
Yeah,
I'm gone.
yeah. I've always struggled with that. There's and it's no different with players. It's no different with coaches. There's like zero loyalty when you start going up to
Absolutely.
that.
It's like a job as well.
And that's why I always talk about James Franklin being a used car salesman. Because if there were a better job in college football, and of course, why would anybody think there was a better job than being at Penn State? If there was a better job in college football, he would probably sell out his staff and go and do it. He that's how I feel about him. I don't know. I just don't like the whole used car salesman, shake hands and kiss
Yep.
babies, and
All right. Well,
I don't know.
Last thing
You know how
before
I am
we get
about him.
into NFL, though. Here's the top 10. Now, what I will say that is shocking for me right now is I'm looking at some of these opponents that some of these teams are playing next. Alabama's about to play Texas next week. They're about to actually play.
somebody. Sarkeesian,
Yeah.
Sarkeesian, Steve Sarkeesian, former freaking
Georgia, on the other hand, about to play Samford.
Samford. Is that Fred G. Samford from fucking?
They're about to play fucking Samford. That's
Is
I
Lamont
believe-
was Lamont the quarterback on the other team?
I believe.
Samford and Son.
Bam, 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 bam. Are they FCS?
Look out, Elizabeth! Here comes the big one.
Yeah, Samford is FCS. They're about Georgia. The number 3 team in the country, probably going to be number 2, is about to play an FCS school.
Yeah.
I pity that team about to come and play them.
Well, I don't see Ohio State slipping down because Ohio State played
no,
number
but
5
Georgia,
Notre Dame.
but Georgia, man, I don't know, man. After that, I think
Yeah.
they deserve that bump up over them.
Sure.
I just do.
Maybe. Yeah.
Texas A&M though, they're about to play App State. They got another. I'll
App
give it to
State's
App
one of
State.
those one of those sneaky son of bitchin' states
One of the
from
best group
freaking
of 5 teams out there.
What's
They
that?
just are.
Boone, North Carolina. They got to go to Boone.
No, it's
Oh,
at,
see,
it's at.
it would be different if Texas A&M was coming to Boone.
You hear
You
the
know,
banjos playing in the background
yeah.
when you come down to those parts.
Yeah, Appalachian State.
Michigan's gonna go all the way to Hawaii.
Uh-oh.
Hawaii
got
is
murdered.
fucking terrible.
They
though.
terrible. They lost a mid-tier team, not mid-tier, but a mid-tier team, like 47-10 or some shit like that.
It was like a fucking clown fest watching them play their first game. Oklahoma though, Brett Venables got his first win as a head
Yeah,
coach.
good for him.
And then
I don't know how many he's going to get. What do you figure he's good for? 9
I'd say
wins?
like 9 wins.
9 wins? Maybe eke out 10-2 kind of thing?
He should with the conference that he's in.
9-3, 10-2. I could see that with him.
But-
He's just such a fiery son of a bitch, though.
Yeah, I mean that's from the Dabo world. Like you know
Yeah.
that he's like.
Do you think
taking
he's got a
some-
get back coach in Oklahoma where somebody's grabbed a hold of his pants and say get back coach and fucking pull on him?
Yeah, it's just the strength guy. Stop. Everyone says like, "Oh, they got a get back coach." No, it's the fucking strength guy. No one is paying that dude $40,000 in benefits just to hold some dude's pants back full time. Okay, it's the fucking strength coach. Shut the fuck up. Sorry, I just hate that. It's
I
just
can't
like,
tell. I
Imagine,
can't tell.
imagine, this team has a get back guy. I go, no, stop it. You're just being stupid now. USC gets their first win as well. So Lincoln Riley. off
Yeah,
to a
you
good
know,
start.
and they played well. I mean, but he had what's the name of his quarterback? I can't think of his quarterback's name.
Williams.
Yeah,
Caleb
he's the kid.
Williams.
Yeah, Caleb Williams is the kid transferred from freaking
Oklahoma.
So not for nothing, but you had a really good start with him.
Yeah.
And you think about Southern California and their fucking recruiting. Holy shit! How could you not want to play there?
It goes to show you though that like UCLA, like in USC, I go USC is going to get better recruits with that program. They just fucking are. They play in the old Coliseum.
Yeah,
they still
I've
play
been
in the
there.
Coliseum.
I've been there many times.
And they have a program
When I
that is
was a
just
kid.
unlike any other right now.
Yeah, you
down
know
there.
they're going to be a force if Lincoln Riley continues to take a step up. You think about what he did at Oklahoma with the talent he had playing in that freaking league,
yeah.
playing in the No D League. Now you're playing on freaking Front Street in freaking Southern California,
With some of the best
Hollywood.
facilities,
Yeah, and how could you not?
I think people forget that like everyone's like, come on, it's not that good of a job if it's not Alabama. I go, not Alabama. Like, I probably sure they may have top facilities. USC has just the same amount.
In terms of expenses.
In terms of expenses, they have the same amount.
California is probably
They-
more expensive.
They have the same.
I
they have the
guarantee
same
you.
shit.
I guarantee you that it's way more expensive. Your dollar goes 10 times farther in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, than it ever did in freaking California. But that's just me.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the NFL though.
Uh-oh.
Now the NFL on Thursday, it will be the first game for the NFL season. Finally, 5 straight months of hearing 8 hours of commercial-free football starts right now, and hearing that every single fucking Sunday by Andrew Siciliano on fucking Red Zone just gets your heart pumping. But it doesn't start until Thursday when the Bills.
Do you
take
think
on
his
the
ears will
Rams.
be bigger this year?
His what?
His ears.
His ears?
Yeah, like Andrew
You scared
Siciliano.
his fucking ears.
Dude, he's got like giant ears, but his voice and his presentation are fucking bar none.
I still like
One
Scott.
of the best.
What's his name? Not Scott Van Pelt. The guy from on Comcast Red Zone. The other guy, I forget his name.
They sound very similar, but Andrew
But he's-
Siciliano's.
But they're both good.
Yes, they are
they
both very,
make
very
us
good.
happy with
And
8 hours
yes,
of commercial-free
and
football.
yeah, Siciliano. His
However, we may hate the NFL when TV came out with Red Zone. You just created the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
I mean, when they came out with just Red Zone, seeing
okay,
almost
yeah,
every
but
score-
then you think about the 80-inch freaking 4K that
But
your
I'm
mother and
saying,
I
though-
bought
but
on Red
I'm
to
saying,
watch Red
though,
Zone.
with Red Zone, on Comcast, Red Zone is free with Comcast, so that's also a plus. DirecTV can eat shit with that whole bullshit
Yeah,
that you have to pay.
I wish I could just ditch it.
Uh,
You know, when we move, we're not buying anything. We're just getting a streaming service. That's it,
I don't give a shit. That's fine.
and you're paying for it. But
Uh,
anyway,
So it starts Thursday. The Bills
yeah.
play the Rams.
What do you think, Bills and Rams? What do you think about that game? I think that's a great freaking matchup. I really do.
I hope the Bills win.
Oh, God damn.
I hope the Bills win.
Think-
Like I have to go with Josh Allen, man.
How could you not
the way
like
that
him?
he left his season last year? I go, that's fucking bullshit. Because once again, I will point out that your defense just fucked everything for him, man. He did everything in that Chiefs game to get them to a winning position, and the defense just couldn't. They just played prevent defense, and they're just cowards. I got to go with Josh Allen. He is hungrier than ever.
Yeah,
he just
and
has to be, man.
The Rams are so good, though.
Yeah, but they're going to have like 20,000 people there.
Do you
No
want to
one's
make
gonna
a
be
you
in
want to make a
fucking-
list? You want to make a list of picks? Huh?
Yeah, sure.
Uh-huh. All right, let me pull one up here
But
real quick.
I'm going with the Bills, man.
All
I
right.
have
You go
to.
Bills, I'll go Rams. I think the Rams are defenders. You know, they just got to All right. Week number 1 picks.
Bills are 2.5-point favorites, though.
Thursday.
The over/under is 52.5.
CJ takes the Bills. Coach is Rams. All right, here we go.
All right. You got the 49ers and Bears.
Ah.
Jimmy G
It's not
has
playing.
now signed a contract with the 49ers to stay there.
Yeah.
But Trey Lance will play week 1.
Yeah, so
What's
do you
what's your shot then?
what do you think? What do you think? My 2 cents is Jimmy's not 100% healthy. And so if you're not 100% healthy, nobody's going to take a chance on you. That's my 2 cents. I'm
gotta go
taking my
Bears.
Bears.
I got to go Bears too. I think that like now with Fields finally getting a true starting season, I think that it'll be a little bit better. I think that that'll be a better start. All right, Steelers, Bengals.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
I just had to move a couple things around here to get them to fit right. All right, let me move this up. All right, so CJ, you're saying
Bears.
and Coach.
But Steelers, Bengals are next.
I'm filling them all in. Okay, Steelers, Bungles. I don't know.
What a way to start off your
I want
season, right?
Trubisky to freaking get it done for him. He's going to be the starter, week 1 starter. He's got to be.
I hope he is, man. Like, he's done everything right this preseason, and to just see that, like, okay, well, you got to go pick it.
And played fairly well.
I don't.
He's
I just
played
don't
well.
think that you can.
I don't think you can when you got a veteran like Trubisky who had a solid camp.
But I got to go with the Bengals.
CJ.
I just have to, man. They look so good at the end of the year, and if Joe Burrow is healthy, man, their offensive firepower is so damn good. They just are. Mixon, Chase, Boyd, Higgins,
Ty Boyd, PA boy.
like they just have the firepower, man. They just do. I can't stand. It sucks to say that, but can your defense actually stop that? I just don't think that they can. All right, Eagles, Lions. You have Hard Knocks, Lions. You know, Dan Campbell
I love that.
against the Philadelphia Eagles, though. Jalen Hurts. This might be his last shot here in Philly. I'm still going with Jalen Hurts, though.
You're going Hurts? Going Eagles?
I'm going with the Eagles, though.
I'm going to take the Lions.
I think that Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts has played fine. I do. I'm
not saying that. I just want Dan Campbell to get off the snide. I want him to take a step, start the season on a winning note, and because I think there's a lot of potential there. Terry Glenn, the freaking D coordinator, Deuce Staley, running backs coach. I think there's a lot of integral pieces there that can compete. But I truth be told, we just have to figure out they're going to have to get a couple of lucky bounces their way. and Jared Goff's going to have to play well. One of the things I didn't see early on in the Hard Knocks thing for the first 3 episodes, there isn't any emphasis on Jared Goff. None. Zero. Zilch. They've focused on Dan Campbell and a few select players.
All right. Chiefs Cardinals.
Chiefs are
Man.
just going to be fucking too good for me.
I don't know. This is a different Chiefs team, though, man.
Yeah.
You don't have Tyreek Hill anymore.
I get it. They're going to be good.
And how you're just going with the Chiefs?
I'm jumping right on
I
the
mean,
Chiefs.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs, too. But I'm just saying, like, can Kyler Murray get over, like,
As much as I'd like that to happen, I just don't see it right away. I just don't. This whole horse shit contract stuff, I don't know. It's just that kind of shit bugs me when that
Right.
stuff happens.
well, a couple more.
All right, just give me a second. I got to put it a row above. Okay,
We'll
never
do
mind.
3 more.
All right, give me a second.
Jesus Christ, you're slow.
I'm
with
sorry.
the typing.
No, I'm not typing. I was making a chart and trying to put everything in place.
Man, this
Okay.
is gonna suck for the facilities guys who work at this place. You got Raiders and Chargers, and the Chargers are at home at SoFi again. So not only are the Rams at home, but then you have to get everything turned around in 2 days for the fucking Chargers game now.
So that you said that's Chargers and
Raiders.
Raiders.
Hey man. Hey man, here's a good chance for both of these teams.
You know what?
The Chargers got a lot of free agent pickups. Justin Herbert is a good fucking quarterback.
Yes, he is. Good young
And-
quarterback.
But the Raiders are the same fucking way right now. Free agent pickups. Devontae Adams is Derek
Huge.
Carr's number 1. He's got Adams
Huge.
and Waller now, and fucking Hunter Renfro. Dude, these guys, the Raiders'
You have
offense is balling, man.
You have 3 elite receivers, one of which is a tight end.
Yes.
And if I'm Josh McDaniels, that harkens back to having Gronkowski. That's the same thing as Edelman, and a big freaking go-to guy. And I don't care who that big go-to guy is.
But yeah, this Raiders team is loaded. They are, and Josh Jacobs as well.
Who are you
I'm
taking?
Going with the fucking Raiders.
I'm going
man.
Raiders,
I'm
too.
going with the Raiders. I think they.
I
can
said
do
it on previous shows. I want the Raiders to do so well.
Dude, for that city of Las Vegas, that would be so awesome.
And we're going to go out to Vegas, and they're going to be away when we go out to Vegas in October.
You gotta get it right to go to a fucking game at some point.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Sunday Night Football, Bucks and Cowboys. The rematch of last year's for Week 1 matchup, but this time it's at AT&T Stadium.
Okay.
I don't fucking care. I'm picking the Buccaneers. I do not see that the Cowboys have any sort of difference from last year. Not only have they had to get rid of some players like Tyron Smith, Amari Cooper's gone. I don't see that they fucking have it. I just don't. I don't see that with Brady coming back now and being fully focused, that they still are the better team offensively. I do. I see them just as a complete better team. Sure, they've lost guys like Ndamukong Suh. They have lost a big part of their defense. Jason Pierre-Paul is gone as well. But at the same time, Tom Brady has done a lot more with a lot less than what that Buccaneers team has.
Yeah, I
about
don't
you?
disagree. I think, everybody who's raving about freaking Brady being away from the team for, I don't know, somebody said it was 9 days. Another person said it was 11 days. It doesn't matter. I mean, he was away. It was already, everybody knew about it ahead of time. Just stop with the nonsense. Now you're going to freaking, you know what that does? That just fucking makes him mad. It just tells him, you're not focused, Tom. You didn't. And then he goes out and throws 5 touchdowns and throws for 350 yards and 5 touchdowns. And then he's like, stop talking about me. So
Exactly.
yeah.
And then
Any other good games you think?
Yeah, I wanted to just talk about look, you have I'll just say it for an important rematch, the Broncos and Seahawks, the big off-season trade between both teams. You have Russell Wilson going away from Seattle, and it's in fucking Seattle.
What do you
Not
think of
only
that?
is Russell Wilson,
What do you think of that?
I think it's cool to see that in Week 1. Not only did he get traded away, but Week 1 he has to go right back to the field. he has to go right back to Seattle.
Well, the same thing happens to Baker, right? Baker's playing in Cleveland.
yeah, he goes right back to where's it?
They're playing Cleveland.
No, but it's in Carolina.
It's in Carolina.
Yeah,
Okay, so
this
he's
is
not.
actually
You're
in
right. Yeah.
Seattle.
Oh, it's going back.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't
And-
know.
and
I
Deshaun
don't know
Watson
that.
is
I don't
playing.
know that Seattle fans are going to boo him,
Oh, they should not. He won your fucking team a Super Bowl, okay?
and should have won a second one if he wouldn't have
if it
freaking
wasn't for Pete Carroll.
no
run the
offensive
ball.
coordinator. Pete Carroll was just chewing gum, and you felt sorry for the gum because you know he was fucking hard on it.
I would go Broncos here though, 100%. Like I don't think
You want to add that on here to
No,
the Monday
no.
night game? I got a space for it if you want to add it. So we picked 5 games in the middle: Thursday night, 5 games, and Sunday night and Monday night. That's
That's 6 out of like the 9 total games.
there's
that are on
1,
here?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 of the 9, 8 of the 10 matchups.
6. Yeah.
12
7,
matchups.
7. Yeah. So there's 12 total. Yeah. So we picked like.
We have
picked,
6
like,
now.
6 out.
1,
so
2,
half.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah. So it's over half of them. Yeah.
You wanna put
I
it
would
on
pick
there?
The Broncos. Yeah.
Let's throw it on there.
I'm
I've marked them, and I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep this list.
I'm still picking
Oh.
the Broncos though. I don't see any reason why.
Yeah, I don't
with
know
Geno
that.
or Drew Lock is
You
their
know,
starting quarterback.
yeah,
either.
I don't see Geno being the answer there. Although he did, there were times where he flashed and looked reasonably decent. I'm going Broncos too. So it's not like we were vastly different here, other than the Rams and the freaking Eagles Lions game. I don't know. All right, so you want to try 2 beers?
Yep. Let's
All right,
go
let me
ahead
get
and
2
the
glasses
beers.
and we'll get these out of the way.
All right.
Oh shit! Grab my glasses.
Well, why'd you do that?
I know it slid down and I grabbed the side of my glasses.
So this is actually not a live recording for once. We are doing this a pre-recording type of deal here. So you will see the music back once again for the beginning of the show. But yeah, we're gonna have 2 beers here tasting for you today, and then just getting ready for NFL starting next weekend. Hopefully it'll be a good first weekend of football. A lot of different faces in the NFL now. It's going to be an interesting Sunday next week. All right, what do we got here first off?
All right.
Looks like just 1 can and 1 bottle.
Yep.
All right.
So this is something called a Ghost, and a Ghost usually comes with a flavored kind of a beer. This one is Drink a Peach, and it's made by Blue Mountain Brewery, and Blue Mountain also makes things like wheat beers and stuff like that, and usually they're pretty good. This has 10 IBUs, so it's really low in terms of a bitter or sour. It's really, really low, and it has a really low alcohol by volume. It's a seasonal beer made by Blue Mountain Brewery, and it's in Arlington, Virginia. So they have a couple of different beers. If you get into the grocery store, they make an Oktoberfest, and I was going to grab one, but they didn't have any singles. So I thought I'd try this Drink a Peach, and we'll see what it tastes like. So there's your glass, CJ. Oh, get over there. I got it. Got it?
Yep.
Let me get my mic out of the way. Oh, it smells wonderful. Has a great smell to it.
Oh, it's really light too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably a really light beer. Very, very crystal clear. Well, not crystal clear, but a light amber color.
There's not much. Will you shut up,
Nothing much
sis?
to it. Great smell to it.
Oh yeah.
It probably got a really light taste to it. It's only 4.4%.
Tastes like a cider.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? But
It's got a really big like tart. I mean like
yeah,
tang to it essentially.
yeah. But I wonder if it was. I wonder if it was the style at what's it doing. Because see, Ghost beers are fermented, so they're a lower temperature, like a warmer beer. So I wonder if that's what's creating that that lemon sour kind of taste to it. Doesn't it? It has like a little bit of a lemony kind
yeah,
of,
it does.
but it fades away if you.
Yeah, but I don't like that it's strong at one point and then it just
Yeah.
dips off.
How about a lot of times when you first taste it, it's almost like it has a bit of a saltiness to it,
Yeah. It's
and
like-
that's
it's like you're in the
typical of
ocean.
Ghost beers.
Okay.
But it has a wonderful smell to it. I wonder if you try this and you try to accent it, since it has a lemony kind of punch to it. At times, maybe just a little bit of a sour taste, lemony. That if you put like an orange slice in it, would that freaking pull it up?
Maybe?
Yeah.
Like an IPA type of thing. Yeah, I don't know. The beer is okay. I would not.
It does have that little bit of a.
Oh no, Coach. I'm not the hugest fan of this
I'm trying
beer.
I'm trying to like it,
Ooh,
but
excuse me.
I'm not a
That
malted
burped
wheat guy, and I've never been a malted wheat guy, and that's what I'm getting with this. And then you get a little bit of that lemon, a little bit of sourness in it, and that's different than IBUs. IBUs are bitters, but to me, bitters and sours often freaking they bump into each other, and I'm not a big fan of those. I would say that this is a beer that might have something if you had something with it, maybe something to offset it. It says drink a peach, but I'm not tasting a strong peach flavor. I'm getting more of a lemon, like a lemon salty, but doesn't have like a horrible aftertaste, and that to me is everything when it comes to a beer. If there was a bunch of these at a summer picnic, I'll probably have a couple, but I'm not going to consistently.
I may get one.
I'm not going to drink a bunch of these just simply because, and for me, that I'm just not going to be jiving on that lemon
Yeah.
sour kind of thing.
Same here.
And that's just me. But
Same here.
not a horrible beer. All right, so
No, I won't go that far. It wasn't. Just
we've had a lot worse
a
than
lot
that
worse.
one. A lot
I
worse.
think that the actual tart beer, what was it?
The cherry tart?
the Imperial Stout.
The cherry tart.
That one was not good to me. I was not a fan
It was
of that.
intentionally sour, and it was over the top sour, and you just couldn't reconcile
couldn't
that.
finish it.
And
That I could actually finish.
there's no way to add anything to a stout to soften the blow. Where I'm telling you, we got to do a show with freaking lemons. We
say this every fucking
I
week.
know we need to do it. We need to do one with lemons, limes, and freaking oranges, and just sample a couple of beers. All right, so this. I'm keeping my fingers. This is down in Crozet, Virginia. Crozet, Star Hill Brewery. This is called Festi. This is their Oktoberfest lager. It's not over the top a powerful beer. At 4.8% alcohol by volume, but it is a seasonal beer, and it is a Virginia craft beer as well. And if it's anywhere as good as some of the ones we've had, it has the great Oktoberfest look to it. I'm keeping my fingers crossed this is going to be
Jesus.
a really good beer. Look at that. That's typical. Look at that rosy amber look to it. It's very clear. And it has that wonderful seasonal smell to it, almost like a clovey kind of sense to it. And that's a good beer.
Wow, that's really good.
That's a really good beer. It's a tad, just a tad, and this is just to me. For an Oktoberfest, it's a tad on the light side.
Yeah, very much.
But there's no aftertaste.
Nope.
There's no bitter. There's no
Nope.
sour. No nothing.
You can taste the season.
Yes, it does, and that's a really good beer.
Yeah, that's a good Oktoberfest.
I think over the next couple of shows, we're going to try and
Find some more Oktoberfest.
Yeah, we're going
This
to
is
try
around
and
that
find a
time.
wide variety of Oktoberfest. We've had a couple, and so far, we haven't had a bad one. We haven't had a bad Oktoberfest, and to me, at this time of year, that's that tells you that you got freaking a bunch of craft brewers out there really, really doing a nice job. Excuse me, this is a good beer. This isn't a summer beer. This is a fall beer. Standing outside, little chill in the air, watching some college football. Got a cooler full of beer, doing a little bit of freaking tailgating. This is a good beer to do that with.
Yep.
Yeah. Gotta like this one. So that was Crozet out of Crozet, Virginia. Star Hill Breweries. It's right on the very front.
Star Hill Brewery's Oktoberfest lager.
Festy. Yeah. Festy is what it's called.
Yep. All right, Coach. Are you excited for NFL to finally start back up?
Oh hell yeah! You know it's just one of those things that you just wait and you wait and you wait, and then when it's finally here, you're like, holy shit! What happened to the first 4 weeks of the season? And then you blink again.
And then you blink again, and it's the last
like,
week in
right,
January.
You're at Thanksgiving, and you're like, what the hell? Season's half over, kind of thing.
You know, it's like, here's the thing. I think people always ask, like, you know, what do you like to do on the weekends? I'm like, well, for 5 months out of the year, on a Sunday, I don't like to do anything because NFL is on
Yeah.
all fucking day.
Right. Yeah.
You may call me a weirdo for that,
Yeah.
but
We
when
don't
you're
go anywhere.
when
In
you're a
this
fan
house,
of
we don't.
something like that, oh, you don't go anywhere.
Yes, we do not.
All right. Well, our setup has changed a little bit. We now have a
Uh-oh.
giant ass monitor.
We have a big screen.
Uh,
The big screen.
and hopefully next week, you know, we'll have some good games for you to talk about
I think
here.
we're going to get Matthew McConaughey on.
Matthew, you talking about Viggs? But anyway, starting next week, NFL starts. We hope we will be on here around 4 or 5 o'clock every single Sunday.
Yeah, we'll be talking shit between then.
Exactly, and we will break down some of the best games from, you know, the 1 o'clock games and even into the 4 o'clock games. We'll talk about that and get you squared away for the following week as well, every single week from here on out. But guys, until next time, we hope you have a safe Labor Day tomorrow. Enjoy the day off, and as always, peace out. Love you
See ya.
guys.